wasn't. If you're going to, go ahead. Because good evening, Garden City. I'd like to call to order regular city council meeting for Monday, January 8th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Our first order of business is our opening ceremony, which consists of the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence for those service members who have given their lives for our country. If you'd please rise.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, if you take roll call, please.
Mayor Jacobs.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dole.
Here.
Councilmember Karafotis.
Here.
Councilmember Squires.
Here.
Councilmember Earl.
Here.
Councilmember Witt.
Here.
Councilmember Lynch.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you do have a full quorum with 7 members present.
Thank you. Item 4 is the approval of the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Witt.
I make a motion to approve the Monday, January 8th, 2024 agenda as presented.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Lynch. Any comment from the table? From the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Item 5 is recognition for our holiday lighting champion. So every year, as you know, we do the holiday light competition, and this year, the Carter family, Mr. Gary Carter, their house won it. So we have a plaque and a gift certificate. So I will read the plaque. 2023 Grand Champion of the Garden City Holiday Lighting Competition. Congratulations to the Carter family of 29210 Box Street on being named the Grand Champion of Garden City's 2023 Holiday Lighting Competition. The Garden City Council wants to acknowledge your hard work and enthusiasm in decorating your home to the joy of the entire Garden City community. Your display not only brought holiday cheer to your neighbors in Garden City, but also the many well-wishers who stopped by to view your home. For your dedication to the holidays and for bringing delight to people of all ages, you are hereby recognized as the 2023 Grand Champion. Congratulations. Thanks. Thank you. I will say there were a lot of houses. I went by on the the runner-ups and the honorable mentions, and they were, Garden City puts on a great show. Mr. Carter and his family did an outstanding job. It was really nice. So, congratulations. Item 6, we have no comments from state or county officials. I think they're all ready for the game. We have no presentations, no community events. I think you want to do that at the, okay. No petitions or communications. Item 11, item for consideration, consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Witt.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A, 1, and 2 as presented.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Earl. Any further comments from table? From the public? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Action items, we got the Radcliffe Center Teen Tech computer purchase. Zach King, our communications supervisor, is going to speak, and I believe you're given a minute time limit for the game.
I only need 30 minutes. Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is a bid to purchase the computer equipment for the Teen Tech Center located in the Radcliffe Center. The Teen Tech combination of rooms will provide a monitored and safe gaming experience for all ages, teens during the day and adults during the evening. In developing this proposal, I've worked closely with the technology professionals from the city and schools, local high school esports coaches, and our technology solutions advisor, CDWG, to provide gaming equipment that the esports industry is actively using, as well as equipment that is long-lasting and state-of-the-art. The team has chosen a Corsair Vengeance A7300 pre-built gaming PC with an 8-core Ryzen 7 7700X with 32 gigabytes of memory and an NVIDIA RTX 4080. All this fit into an RGB case, or all fit into a case with RGB lighting. We paired that with an Asus ROG Swift 27-inch monitor that will be mounted to the wall. We are also purchasing a SteelSeries keyboard, a HyperX headset, Cherry mouse pads, and a Corsair mouse. If you direct your attention towards the screen, you can see these items now. In working with our partners, I am confident this equipment will attract the attention of esports programs in the area as a top-of-the-line esports arena. Not only for the use for our own programs and adult and teen local leagues, but also as a professional esports arena for larger competitions. This equipment enables us to provide a competitive gaming space for low to no cost to high school players. The equipment you see will be split into 2 separate rooms at the Radcliffe Center. The first space is more for independent gaming, practice time for non-league players, and younger players just getting into the idea of league or competitive play of esports. As you see on the screen, this space will hold 12 of the gaming computers we are looking to purchase today. The other 22 machines will be dedicated to the esports arena space. As you can see from this first photo, there'll be a window into the space from the hallway. Here you can see the layout of 5 machines per team. With a total of 4 teams in the room, this allows us to have 20 players competing simultaneously. Most high school leagues are played 2 teams of 5, playing against each other in the same room. We will have the ability to run 2 events at the same time in this space, so 2 different games running at the same time. The esports arena will have the same countertop design as I showed you previously in the first few slides. This is still currently under construction. As well as getting feedback from those in the industry for the equipment selection, we also did this for the design of the room. On the screen now, you can see some of the images of the other spaces from colleges, high schools, and independent esports arenas, or sometimes referred to as internet cafes. I also had the opportunity to visit the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas on one of my recent family vacations. This equipment is far superior to what we are looking to purchase today, but I was excited to speak with the staff of HyperX and learn more about the professional side of esports. As you can see from some of my photos, I took an interest in how their internet cafe was set up for users to rent time on the computers at an hourly cost. The bid before you has been prepared by CDWG from items from the State of Michigan contract bid, from the Michigan Master Computing and Sourcewell Tech Catalog. This equipment will be purchased using the Wayne County ARPA grant funding and was approved in our budget under the CIP. Any questions?
Go ahead, Councilmember Karafotis.
Can you explain to our residents what esports is so everybody knows what we're talking about?
Yeah, so esports is essentially, our normal sports that we see, football, baseball, and stuff like that, except in an online digital version. So most esports is seen as competitive league play, whether it be recreational, youth, or high school or middle school esports. This would be played in versions of games, normally free-to-play games. So there's no cost to usually the leagues or the players. They actually have to sit in the seats. That's something actually that's just recently changed in the Michigan High School Esports League. But yeah, these are just like you would see your MHSAA for your football leagues running a league. High schools have the exact same thing, leagues that come in and manage it.
And who
so
do they
just-
play against?
Other high schools in the area. So like right now, I believe Dearborn has a team, Livonia.
So are we looking to get a city team? I mean, if our high school already has one, this is for our residents.
Our high school actually does not have an esports team right now, Garden City High School. This would be an amazing space for them to use. But this also enables us to do local leagues, just as, we find 10 people that, just like your cornhole league that we're running now with 10 adults in the area, we could do the same thing in this room, 10 adults on our own adult league or youth league or whatever league that will play in this space.
Does this purchase include the games?
This purchase does not include the games, but the majority of the games you see in the esports space right now are free to play.
Are we going to be purchasing any that aren't free to play?
I think that we have to see where the space goes. The three most popular games right now are Rocket League, Overwatch, and Valorant, which are all free to play. There could be a purchasing games in the future if that's where it goes, but we would hope that league cost would cover the price of those games if so.
Okay, so then it's not free for them to play. If you're going to be in a league, there's an amount that they have to pay.
There could be, just like cornhole right now, there's a, minimal fee for just Parks and Rec to organize the actual league. Make sure you actually commit to coming, that we're not running events and, half the people don't show up. But no, the games itself are free to play though. So it's not like we would have to buy the game to run that league if we were doing a free to play game.
Even though it sounds new to some of us here, it's not new, correct? This is a very popular sport with tons of people that play all the time.
Yeah, no, it is not new. Actually, the arena I visited, HyperX, is the largest in the nation right now in Las Vegas, and they're running competitions all the time. They don't actually have enough space to run the national competitions they are running. The esports has been around in Michigan, I believe, 8 years. So.
And Council Divine Child, we had their coach come over to meet with us a couple of times as we laid out the systems. I understand, nationals twice. They won San Antonio. They were flown out to St. Louis, the team itself. They're not using any kind of equipment like this. The issue with the difference of equipment is these aren't home computers. These aren't office computers. These are heavy backgrounded computers where you're not buffering. And it's certainly not something where they just play against each other in the room. You play nationwide. Somebody can get on the computer right now and play a racing game against 6 other people who are from California, from Louisiana, from everywhere. That's where gaming has gone for the parents, is a good point, Councilwoman, that a lot of people don't understand. It's not sitting at home with an Atari and putting the game in and playing by yourself or playing the machine. My kids were playing this past weekend, one of these types of games, and I said, is that a person? Is that a robot? What are you running around with? That's a person. They have no idea where in the country or the world they are. But then they pointed out this other character is a robot. So that's somebody somewhere that you just went, yes, it's somebody somewhere. And that's, so we could actually play out of this location, be in a tournament somewhere else, just online. So it's not as if going to an arena is needed, but locally, teams will start to come to our place. And we're still working on a pricing structure for that. The Teen Tech, the objective of kids after school is to have it as free as possible. More of the competitive part, the kids can participate in. As you're saying, we probably have a membership program set up, so it helps cover costs, overall, because these are things that I believe, Zach, you have in your own house, and others they have systems, but they don't have this system type of thing. So this is, and it's next generation, from what I understand. It's not going to be out of date within a year or two, a couple of years. This is long term.
Yeah, just to elaborate on those 2 points. there are two different types of play. There is online play and local play. High school esports, and specifically the MHSEL, the Michigan Esports League of Michigan, they currently still play locally, just like a football team you would if, so if the high school is interested in starting an esports team, just as you would play football, the team would travel to our arena, and they would both play in the same seats, same computers, same devices, so it's equal play. There's no differentiating, and this person has this keyboard, or this person has this computer, or this monitor. So that still is very local. There are competitions you can join nationally that play anyone in the country, of course, or anyone around the globe, I should say. So those could be more coordinated. We would still be running the league, but we would be finding players to play on our team to compete against the world. So that'd be two different types of gaming. One's still very local in the room, and also we can play against the world. And then the elaborate on the part, these computers are next generation. So thankfully that we have the grant funding here to purchase these. We're looking to use these computers for the next 10 to 15 years. Whereas if we stuck with current generation stuff, we'd be replacing them closer to like 5. So one of the benefits of spending a little bit more money now through grant funding is we won't have to again in a few years. As you know, computers constantly update. So this stuff is next generation, but that'll help us down the road, not having to renew these computers in 5 years. So.
Even though it's the esports and it's in 2 separate rooms, it's still covered under just the teen tech
Yes.
room for that,
Yes.
for us to use that money.
Because we're going to have similar computers in the teen tech room also, so it kind of jives together, yes.
Yeah, so the two spaces I referred to, one's more teen tech, one's more esports, but they're the exact same computers across both areas. So if one area is using for competitive gaming, the other area can be used for practice, or younger kids just getting into the world of esports and such. And then we could also use that practice space, the 12 computers, as another 2 teams battling each other. So both spaces are dual use in those purposes.
And how fast do you think this is going to take off?
Oh, I hope really fast. So one of the things that we learned from Coach Hines coming in was that players they might be really good at playing games, but they've never been on a team before. So he often, I think one of the questions Doc first asked him is, how did you learn all these games? He's like, I don't know any of the games, but I've coached kids before.
Yeah.
So a lot of times bringing them into this setting teaches them like, okay, we do have to use nice words. We do have to communicate as a team. We have to learn how to communicate to win. We have to learn how to be nice to each other. We have to learn how, a structure. You have to be at practice at certain times. And so there's that kind of aspect that right now those kids aren't, even if they had the same machine at home, aren't getting because they're by themselves. He says bringing them into a classroom setting and teaching them structure is a whole new world for a lot of players who are interested, have never been on other sports team. They've never played football or soccer.
That's why I had to ask, how does a 50-year-old man teach high school kids how to play computer games? And so he said, they know more than I do. It's about organization.
So he's going to be coaching here also?
I don't think so. We just went to him for a reference.
Yes.
As
He's
him and
busy.
with many others, he has a broad network of esports coaches. I've actually spent many days on the phone with him, asking questions and trying to learn, because I don't know much about the high school esports. I know gaming and I know computers and I know the specs, but as it comes to the world of high school esports, I didn't know much. So he was a super helpful, even this past weekend, asking him some more questions, trying to narrow down how this is going to look in the esports industry.
Zach?
Hey.
Are there plans to work with the high school and the middle school to create teams at the schools themselves?
Yes, so actually, at the same time, I reached out to the tech department at the schools to get their input on some of the stuff we were purchasing. They were like, wait a minute, you guys are doing this? Because they were looking at doing something a lot smaller and very few computers. And I was kind of like, well, you have to at least do 10, right? Like if you wanted to play, you have to have 10 matching computers. They're like, oh, really? Because they were looking to purchase just a few. So they actually kind of put their plans on hold for a minute to see what we were going to do and what we came up with before they made their own space or purchased anything. So we're actually hoping that they're super excited for what
We would absolutely welcome having Garden City High School team based out of our location, even a middle school team, or even Team A, Team B, Gold Team, Silver Team, more than just one team to be competitive without a
That's why I
doubt.
asked, I would like to see us reach out to them.
Oh, absolutely.
To
Yeah.
have that
Yeah,
created.
so we've already kind of talked with them, and especially their technology team, because I guess they were in the process of putting together the same specs I was doing. And I was like, oh, do you have anything put together yet that I can just take? And they're like, no, we haven't gotten that far. I was like, oh, okay. I'll do all the research, that's fine. So yes, no, we are. That'd be a very cool opportunity I think they're going to jump on. I know the principals, both in middle school and high school, have been looking into esports. And also, The Michigan High School League of Esports is ran by the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals. So not only is the pressure from the community, hey, we want esports, but also the Principals Association's contacting our principals like, hey, why haven't you done this yet? This is like a great opportunity. What do you need help with? Do you need this? Do you need that? What do you need? So I think this will be a great push that they can run with. Because this is, for a lot of leagues, this is like, to have the grant funding, to just purchase this all at once and have the space is just not available. You know, normally start even DC, starting with laptops and smaller stuff. And he's trying everything he can do to get, they actually just won a competition that's purchasing all brand new laptops for their space. So they had to win a competition before they could even afford some of the stuff. So we're very lucky to have the grant funding.
And that's the plan, that we would be entering competitions also and holding them here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mayor,
Councilmember Earl.
yeah, first, I think this is a great idea. I'm glad we're doing it. I know, and I can tell you, it's probably a little more advanced than my Commodore 64. Probably the last time I gamed. But I do know that the kids, they love this stuff, you know, and it's very competitive. And to be able to use this kind of equipment is going to be a big draw into the Radcliffe Center, which already has a lot of great programming. So I'm excited to see it. I know high school kids will be excited to see this. So thank you for your work on this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
When is it going to be done?
We're hoping for the beginning of March for the room. I know we're still doing construction and stuff like that, and it's funny because I'm more excited about what the room's gonna look like than the computers. But no, it's all coming together, so I believe.
It's the finishing off, get the computers ordered in, everything in place, but also the registration system at the front door is, we're trying to, Radcliffe right now, you could just walk in to a class or a program. Once this stuff happens, it's gonna be a lot more hectic. We kind of want to make Radcliffe a safe space, so everybody in there, whether a senior walking or a kid in a program, we know who else is in the building at the same time. So that's what we're finalizing right now is a kind of it's a free membership, but a registration system of every time you come in, you have to swipe your card or give your number, picture shows up. Kids must be registered by their parents, so you can't just show up with a friend from school and say, hey, we're here. We need to know who you are in the building to make sure it's a safe place and that our equipment's being treated well. And the cameras that the council approved once before, I believe there might be 5, 6 cameras in a couple of these rooms here to see every direction, every angle of everything. So this stuff should last a long time.
One thing, can you clarify, because there's people who don't understand computers at all and will think the worst, obviously, because it's an improvement. So these are not computers for surfing the net or gambling or any of the wrong things you can do online.
Yeah, they definitely can surf the internet. We actually already, with the computer lab we've installed, have safeguards on getting into websites you can't get to. So
Right.
those same safeguards will be copied over to these computers. There's also software called GG Leap. That is software that is provided to esports leagues to monitor the computers so you can make sure that there's safe chat, acceptable chat, that the players are communicating with each other, and that they can't change stuff on the computer that we wouldn't allow. They can't play games we wouldn't allow, and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Good, thank you.
Mayor,
Councilmember Witt.
I just want to say I've played video games, and me and you, we grew up playing soccer together, so I'm just glad we're having a chance to give this opportunity to some of these kids, as I myself still play video games and do play them competitively. And I was talking in the back, this is probably the exact computer I would build today if I was going to build another one. I slowly upgrade piece by piece as I go with my one at home, but this is a beast of a machine and it will last. I can assure you that with my own expertise, that yes, these are good computers and they will last for 10 to 15 years.
Mayor,
Councilmember Dole.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of 34 Corsair Vengeance A7300 PCs and all other required equipment from CDWG under the State of Michigan bid contract in an amount of $143,765.48 purchased from the Wayne County ARPA grant funding.
Support.
Support from Councilmember Witt. Further comment from the table?
Just real quickly,
Councilmember Lynch.
I'm really glad to see another opportunity for kids. Not everybody is sports. They'd love to be, but some of them can't hit, some of them can't run, you know, different things like that. And there's a lot of kids out there that need the coaching, need to be the team group And so I'm really glad to see that we're offering another opportunity for them. That's all.
Thank you. From the general public,
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have nothing under other business. Public comment for non-agenda items. You have 3 minutes. Anybody wishing to speak?
Mr. Mayor, I have two, Mr. King and Mrs. Dolan.
Mr. King?
Hi, City Council. I'd just like to take a few minutes to thank the city for supporting the soccer club and ensuring our parks are ready for our practices and games. I'd like to throw a special thank you to Mike Downey. I didn't know he was going to be here today, but he's been in really good contact with Parks and Rec, and whenever we reach out to him for issues, he's always quick to respond. Not everybody, for those who are not familiar with the soccer club, we've been providing a soccer program for the youth in Garden City for the last 47 years. We have a 9-board member that manages the club, which are all volunteers. We have about 40-some coaches, all volunteers, just for the love of the sport and teaching the youth. I also like to mention, since I'm up here, that registration is open for soccer club. It opened January 1st and closes March 1st. Unfortunately, kind of bad timing. Our website's currently down, but we should have it back up by next week to accept registrations. You can register through Facebook for those that are, have Facebook access. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
If you can get us a flyer, the city can help put that out to the residents.
Yes, I'll provide it. Yeah, I can do that. I'll give you one to Mike. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Dolan?
I've still been waiting to hear about my house. Nobody's investigated. I brought you people pictures to show you the damage since I bought this house. It was a perfect house when I moved in.
I'll distribute them if you
Well,
want
they're
to
all
go.
saying that.
Okay, if
This-
you'd like to
I
go back to
watched
the podium,
property just
okay.
come apart since I bought the house. And then when I proved that it was the city's fault in 2011, they did nothing. I had to hire another plumber to get the camera footage because my plumber gave it to the city. The city has this. The mayor has the video of flooding. Has anyone seen it? Or this letter stating, I had to prove it was 50% the city's fault what happened to my house. It's been proven 100%. My house is 6 inches lower than my other neighbors. You can stand in my backyard and watch theirs come towards my house. My walls are cracking, bowing in my house now. Nails are coming out because my house is caving in. I just found a crack in my basement, so now I have to check for radon. Am I being poisoned by radon because of this crack in my basement? It's coming up through the ground. Do I have mold in my walls? Because I have insulation in my walls. The moisture from the bricks. What has it done to that insulation in my walls? So I'm getting my house tested for mold and radon because of this. But you people aren't doing anything. This letter states that when the city was built, people signed for these pipes in the city. No, I went around in 2011, found these pipes in people's backyards, and the one on the other end of my street, they worked on in 2000, when they did the road, they worked on their drain and fixed it. The neighbor's house next to me has a fire hydrant. The dirt is down this far. The mayor's seen it. Nobody's been out. Where is the dirt going? I was told, oh, it's washing into a drain. Well, that drain's gonna get plugged up and flood people's houses. Nobody's been out there to look at that fire hydrant. Nobody's been out there. I wish one of you, all of you, would just one day come and look, stand in my backyard and look at the damage to my property. My bricks on the back porch are peeling off in 1/4-inch pieces. It's called spalling. It's from too much moisture in the bricks. I had a front porch put on in 2005. It never dried right. It's falling apart right now. There's a picture of that in there. My back porch steps go down about 3 inches, so do my front porch steps. And they were done in 2005. My front of my house, that much of my house is now showing where it used to be dirt. My neighbor's house has got this much of hers. All the little, where they put the basement and the brick together, all that mortar stuff, the concrete stuff, is now not covered by dirt because that dirt has sunk down. But nobody is coming out there.
I've called to try and get soil testing. I've tried to call somebody to tell me what is going on. Am I gonna have a sinkhole open up under my house? Can anyone tell me that with 19 years of saturation? I know the ground is drying out now. And it's still drying, because each year I go out there, I find a new dip in my yard. But nobody seems to care.
Ms. Dolan, you have 3 minutes, and that is the end of your comments.
Well, I'm still getting nowhere. This letter says that there's
Ms.
no
Dolan,
property
okay.
ownership of that
Thank you.
pipe, that nobody will show me to prove.
We'll have staff there tomorrow. I know she's been here before. I've been to her house, and I thought we were looking into it with DPW and that, so we'll get there tomorrow, sir? Okay.
I'll go over there also.
Okay?
I want the guy from the water department there, because he came and told me it's settling.
right.
Houses don't settle after 70 years.
Okay, well, the city manager and somebody else from administration will come out there.
Well, it took me 3 years to get the pipe re-hooked up in 14. I can come and fight with you people, not you guys. I don't know if anyone was here in 14.
Okay.
The pipe hooked up in 11. And I have to.
Any further public comment? Mr. Hunt?
I don't know if any of you can speak on this as of yet, probably not, but I want to give kudos to our police department for a situation a couple weeks ago there at Ford and Vinoy for doing an outstanding job. The only thing that's confusing is somehow that going through our dispatch, it actually got out to the officers in enough time they could take care of the situation. But they rushed right in, they took care of it, and whoever that officer is needs a medal pinned on his chest for saving a whole lot of other people out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? City manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, something for the future for the council. For a little while now, staff has discussed the idea of having a social worker be connected to our fire and police departments. Over the last couple of years, as cities were looking to defund the police, the city council and administration, we've been enhancing our police department and fire department with the necessary resources. Tomorrow, I'll be meeting with Sergeant Daniels, our community resource officer, as well as Sean Hahn, Family Resources Center, for the discussion of hiring someone who can provide immediate crisis intervention, as well as collaborate with our public safety departments to prevent future crises. Their main attention is going to be the areas of domestic violence, substance abuse, general mental health, and public education of each of these areas. So one thing you may not know is often the police and fire will go out to the same location several times in a day. A lot of wasted resources there, and not much can be done, but social work can do a lot more. So rather than where other cities, again, are replacing police officers with social workers, we'd like to enhance where the police officers don't have to go to the same place 3-4 times a day. Let's get them into a routine where we could fix the crisis that they have, a lot of mental issues. So we're looking to bring that to the council probably this spring for the budget meetings to move forward on that. So it's just another way of building our quality of life in Garden City and stop issues from happening in the future.
Is that going to be a full-time employee?
That's what we would look to have, yes. And
We need it.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
I have nothing this evening. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Dole?
Just a couple things. I wanted to congratulate Officer Weiss on being named Officer of the Year. Also, a thank you to the police department and the fire department for supplying the good fellows with some heroes for our kids to shop with. Meyer very generously donates $100 per child and allows us to pick about a dozen kids to go. And the last several years, we've had several police officers and firefighters show up, and the kids absolutely love it. Rotary is doing a comedy night, and the poster says 3 clean comedians. So if you want to go hear some clean humor, it is February 10th over at Radcliffe, and tickets are $25, so you can buy them at the door or from any Rotarian. I wanted to congratulate Gary Carter on his house. He does a fantastic job every year on that house. It's good that he was recognized for that tonight. And I guess that's it for tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Lynch.
Yes, I too wanted to congratulate the Carter family on the beautiful job they do on their house. Also, all the other residents of Garden City who put up the lights. They did such a great job. It's been colorful throughout Garden City. I kind of missed the white lights as I came into council tonight because they were the first to go down on Ford Road, but did a beautiful job for the holidays celebrating. And then, other than that, just want to say, go blue tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Witt.
Just congratulations to Gary Carter and his family, and go blue as well.
Thank you. Councilmember Squires.
Okay, just want to give my condolences to the family of Julie Burton, lifelong resident who passed away this week. And just go blue.
Thank you. Councilmember Karafotis.
I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows we no longer have an animal control officer. We have that job out for hire, and hopefully we'll have more help soon. In the meantime, if you have issues with strays, we still are contracted with the Rimas Animal Center. You can call there. You can always have your dogs, the stray dogs scanned for microchip at Lucky Dog, and for last resort, if you need help, please call the non-emergency number to the police, and they will guide you in the direction that you need to go.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember Earl.
Thank you, Mayor. First, as was stated up here, thank you to the police officers who did a fantastic job. As a former police officer and hearing some of what went down there, it's an amazing story and just an incredible job, and it shows the training and dedication that we have in the city with our police officers. So, and I also like to give my condolences to the family of Julie Burton, and Happy New Year to everybody, and hopefully we have a good year. That's all I have.
I thought you said go blue. I heard from that end of the table.
Not Michigan blue.
Anyways, okay, I have nothing to say, so having no further business, this meeting is adjourned.